reinforcement on the side. I don't want this thing to pop out. I gotta put some stuff here for this. Whoops. There we go. Yeah. That's not gonna hold, of course. This is actually a pretty simple construction. I'm very amazed at its simplicity. You would think it would be a little complicated, but it actually works pretty well. And there's two versions of this when it first came out in the 80s. The 1/1200th version, and I think the smaller one, which is a 1/2400th scale. It wasn't until maybe about 20 years later or so they came out with the EX kit, which was a 1/1700th scale, and of course the 1/400th scale, which is pretty big, but it's also ridiculously expensive. I, for one, am not looking forward to getting a kit like that. If I was ever going to get a ship at 1/400 scale, it'll probably be the Musai. Alright. I think we're about done here. Don't you guys agree? The last part of this would be actually, hang on a second, how does it fall into place? Is it like this? I think that's it. Last two pieces of this big ship will be the doors, which I am not gonna glue. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. And that's it. Hang on a second. We are done with the building of white base. Hang on a second. I gotta get the stand. I put it off the side. Will you stay there? Thank you. There she is. The 1/1200th scale white base. Now there's an extra part here, and it's these doors, or this cover here, excuse me, this cover, which you can actually put over the main cannon, or one of the main cannons, and then just snap it in like so. Which I think looks better now. It's probably a waste to put that cannon. I think that's one of the only few gimmicks that this kit has. All right, pretty good. Pretty big scale. Alright, let's move on to finishing up this with the other little kits that came with it. Okay, as you can see here, I finally assembled Gundam, Gun Tank, and Gun Cannon. Gundam was easy to make. Gun Tank, it was okay as well. But Gun Cannon was a bit difficult because of the cannon mounts on the top. This one doesn't even look like Gun Tank. It's actually really ridiculous for its scale. Take a look at that. I'm laughing at this. Obviously, you could pretty much see that back then the molding process was not refined and accurate enough to actually mold a kit or a scale figure at that size. So, you know, I guess this is what they were able to work with at the time. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my kit using this. I'm doing it outside because I have no ventilation in my home to do this. Okay, as you can see, the white base is now gray, or primed, using Mr. Surfacer's 1000. Now, I'm kind of sorry that the video doesn't show more of me painting it outside, that for the fact that my battery died out at that moment, so pretty much I gotta remember to keep a spare battery, or at least check it before I begin filming outside. I'm now moving on to the next portion of this. Of course, I'm going to paint this guy, and I am going to paint it. I want to show you guys this. Here are the colors that I have collected. I got red for the red trim. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is print the whole thing flat white. Then I'll do the red trim using this Tamiya red, and the blue trim from here, and here, we'll be using another Tamiya color, blue. So I got the three primary colors. Another color that is actually taking up a lot of space, but I don't have in Tamiya, would be Gonzo's yellow. So that will be for here and here. Now, I did mention before that I could not airbrush any kits last year because I didn't have a airbrush. I was planning to get a Iwata airbrush, but that doesn't seem to be the case at this time because I got no money. However, a good friend of mine had got himself an Iwata airbrush. He's not going to give it to me. Instead, he's actually giving me a tester's airbrush, I think one of the Aztec ones. He's not only giving me the airbrush, he's also giving me the compressor. So he doesn't need it anymore. He just got a new system set up, so he's okay with that. But he said, you can have this if you want. I barely even used it. I only used it once. And I said, cool. So my next video will show me airbrushing this guy. And this is going to take me some time. I hope you guys like the next video that I'm going to release. So stay tuned for me airbrushing this guy.